Hi there, knife people, hello lady and gentlemen. Today I am revisiting this MKM Pocket Tango designed by Dave Anderson of Knife Center. And I'm going to show you a completely new to the market and to me knife from let me say it correctly, from Zolingen, Germany. This is Boker Vigtig versus Wild. And most importantly, we'll finally find out whose MagnaCut is harder, Italian or German. Recently, I made a bunch of short videos about DCA MKM Pocket Carry Pocket Tango knife. And this is a great knife, set me back about 170 bucks, made out of MagnaCut. About the same time, I also purchased this Boker knife, also made out of MagnaCut by Zolingen factory in Germany. It came with a sheath that I completely don't like. They provided this pocket clip or belt clip, and I could not get it to work for the pocket because the steel is so thick on it. You need a Herculean strength to get it open enough to slide like a normal denim jeans seam into it. And then it has a death grip, so it's very uncomfortable when you want to remove it. And perhaps more importantly, I only found one belt in my closet that this clip works with, and it's an 1.25 inch sort of dress pant belt. Not something that I would be wearing outdoors. I usually, most commonly, wear 1.5 inch belts. Here side by side are Italian Pocket Tango and German Vigtig versus Wild. I don't know what it means. Please let me know in the comment if you do. And on the right you see their pricing. So is $166 a big price to pay for a chunk of MagnaCut that is 4 millimeters or 160 thousandths of an inch thick? The blade is slightly over 3 inches long with a 3-inch cutting edge, and then it has a crisp, sharpened spine that will help you with all kinds of outdoors tasks. Today, MagnaCut is a very oversold steel, but the key point to remember is it's only as good as its heat treated. And so the two knives are priced equally. Let's find out if they're heat treated equally as well. As you can see, I already disassembled MKM, and to do that you need a T8, a punch, and a hammer. That's how tight it all fits. And now I'm going to disassemble Vigtig versus Wild. And to do that, because the knife is from Germany, I want to demonstrate it can be done with a €1 coin. And the reason I'm doing all this is because I'm going to test hardness of both of these blades using my brand new portable hardness tester, purchased with my Amazon proceeds from this channel, for which I thank my subscribers and people who use the links. Very easy. All right, that's what it looks like inside. That's where the weight savings come from. Let's cut out. Haha, they hollowed out the handle like on some of the Tops knives. So now I will have to demonstrate storing some survival gear in this handle. Testing Pocket Tango first. This tester requires a rigid base. I place the knife on the block, press the probe onto the blade, charge it, and I will then average between 3 readings. First one is 63.4, the second 63.9. I have to reposition the probe so I don't hit the same spot. The beep means it's the last in the series, and then it will calculate 63.8 average. This is an absolutely perfect range for MagnaCut. Great job, Italy. Let's see now what the Germans produce. After I test this knife, I will also show you what's inside this probe so that you understand how it works. But what you also need to know is that every time I do this, it leaves a tiny little divot in the blade. And the first hit was 60.7. 60.6. I'm getting pretty good at this. And I spoke too soon. Took a pressure off a little bit. You could hear the ball striking differently, and it took my average down to 60.1. When in reality, it should have been closer to 60.6. So the key to this test is the probe. And it's basically a... let me show you what's inside. Here's the probe itself. On this end, there is this little hardened bowl. And what it does, there's like a spring that it compresses. Actually, you charge it, and then it fires it into the surface that you're testing. Once it strikes the surface, the software determines the velocity with which it struck, and then velocity with which it rebound for the second strike. And that's why it's super critical to have a consistent and firm pressure onto the test item. This block can also be used for calibration. They engraved or laser etched the values when you test at HRC scale. Right here it says it's supposed to show 58.7. And so as you can see, I'm within 0.2 of the Rockwell hardness readout. I calibrated it on the lower side deliberately so that my readouts are conservative. The blades that I tested are a little harder, so we will call the Pocket Tango 64. And based on that, this guy is like 61-ish. To understand what it means, we need to look at the table provided by inventor of MagnaCut steel, Dr. Laren Thomas. The numbers on the bottom represent Rockwell hardness on a C scale, or HRC points, and the numbers on the left represent toughness in foot-pounds. Higher hardness is usually associated with the edge retention, and the higher toughness represents the steel's ability to resist deformation, yield under pressure, or break. And even though MagnaCut is well-balanced steel, these two properties are still inversely proportionate to one another. So let's see where our two blades ended up. For MKM Pocket Tango, the hardness was 64 HRC, which gives us a toughness of about 12 foot-pounds. And for Boker Vigtig versus Wild, the hardness was 61 HRC, which increases its toughness to 17.5 foot-pounds. Alright, enough with the nerdy stuff, let's get into survival gear. I'm just going to go with something super basic and a little bit of line and a sinker, and it will all fit in there easily. So in there I'm going to pack a good size sheet of aluminum foil, carefully folded, because if you do catch the fish, yeah, you need something to maybe bake it in over the coils. You know, if you catch bigger fish that doesn't fit into this foil, you're a better fisherman than I am. So I'm going to put that in. You know, make sure I'm folding it in the size that fits the handle here. Like so. Come on. Dexterity goes with age. Okay. So here's my foil pack, and it fits. And then I'm going to secure it with a little bit of duct tape. That's for kindling. So I'm gonna go, we don't want to stick the duct tape to the foil, it'll tear it up. So we'll let it sort of stick to itself here, like so. And now I can get, where's my line? Here's my line. About 6 to 9 feet out to do it. have to speed this up. All right, and let's put our little sinker here. Okay, let's finish wrapping it up. Okay, come back here. And let's close her up. How about that? Look at this. Just to show you that you don't need a euro. So euro still works, but $1 wouldn't, because it's paper. But a quarter works. During apocalyptic event or stranded somewhere, you have a fishing kit inside. It's just try not to forget about it. And obviously your keys will work as well. What do you guys think? Write me a comment. But I'm not done. I'm heading back outside to do a little bushcraft demonstration and maybe start a fire. So here I have birch tree bark that I collected on the way, and nature's perfect kindling. Probably don't need all of it, so I want to demonstrate. When you're working with loose kindling like this, it behooves you, or it works better if you place your blade in such a manner that it sort of retains the kindling in place. Then you can just scrape it like so. Whew. So birch tree bark is nature's perfect kindling. The tree is so oily, as evidenced by this black smoke that's blowing all over. It's like a natural source of tar. And in case you wonder what the knife looks like after using ferro rod, this here, these are scratches from ferro rod, which I could sand out if they don't bother me. And here's a little bit of a tar from the fire accumulating on the blade. As you can see, I can easily remove it. On the DCA knife, there's maybe, if you have a narrow or small diameter ferro rod, you can maybe get into this choil and make spark, but the spine is completely rounded off in Italian tradition. Even on the back here, it is such as well. So the only place you can actually strike the ferro rod is in the sharpening choil here. Back to the Boker now. I wanted to show you that being a Scandinavian grind, this knife is your perfect outdoors companion because it bites into wood like no other shape or blade configuration. Basically, at 4.5 millimeters thick, it's a miniature axe. That's really, it's like having 2 wood chisels in your pocket. So perfect for woodworking. And if you need to smooth out a piece of wood, that crisp spine will also work great. See, I can scrape, even the wood is wet. I can scrape some scrapings and let it dry. It dries quicker than solid wood, obviously, and then use that as a kindling. Or I can feather with this knife quite nicely because the angle is like 13 degrees, I think. Maybe between 12, I'm going to say between 12 and 15 degrees. And I mean total 12 to 15 degrees, not per side. A total angle is very acute. And that's what Scandi grind is all about. For any sort of woodcraft project, that would be your best blade geometry. because of how easy it bites into the wood. And also, the handle is very robust. So I see that Benchmade is coming out with about the same size knife, which is a mini Bushcrafter. I own a big Bushcrafter, the original style. And what I couldn't understand is why they simply replicated the old design. They just changed a couple little cosmetic things, like they added a fuller, which I didn't find Bushcrafter to be super heavy for its size. Not to mention that for the price of the Bushcrafter, which is still made out of S30V steel, you can buy both of these MagnaCut knives that I'm showing here today. Okay, we found out that in the hardness department, Italian MagnaCut beats German by quite a bit. But in the utility department, I think the German knife takes the cake. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment. And Dave Anderson, if you ever watch this video, I don't know if you will, but if you ever do, thank you for developing a really good knife.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think those two combine very well. You know, you give really different blade shapes, so for different uses.
I bet you and Igor there did not know that Germans heat a whole compartment inside the knife's handle. But, you know, as they say in Germany, was du nicht weißt, mach du nicht heißt. Which in American means what you don't know won't hurt you.